Beloved one, if you are hearing these words right now, it is no accident. Heaven has aligned your steps, so that in this exact moment, you would hear the voice of truth. Archangel Michael has been dispatched. His wings have already moved through the unseen realm, cutting through shadows, to reach you. This message is not for another day. It is for now. It is for you. Last night, while you slept, or perhaps when you could not rest at all, your name was spoken in a place you could not see. And that sound, that breath, opened a door in the spiritual realm. This was not a small thing. This was not random. The moment your name crossed the lips of that person, light shifted, wind stirred, and the balance of protection around you moved. Heaven has felt it. Archangel Michael has seen it. And I am here, as a messenger, to tell you, you cannot ignore what has begun. There are moments in life when we stand at a threshold, one step forward, and everything changes. One step back, and the moment passes, never to return. Right now, you are at that threshold. The door in the spiritual realm is still open, but it will not remain open forever. Protection, that was once impenetrable, can weaken if you do not move. Michael's voice is strong. I can almost hear the echo in my own spirit. Tell them to open quickly. Tell them their moment is here. Tell them heaven waits for their yes. Beloved, this is not fear speaking. This is love warning you. God does not send a message like this unless something vital and precious is at stake. And right now, that precious thing is you. The heavens are not silent right now. Even as you hear these words, there is movement. Light is shifting. Angels are standing to attention. Scrolls in the heavenly courts are being unrolled. Names are being read. And yours is among them. The door that was opened last night is not an ordinary door. It is a spiritual gateway. A crossing point between what you can see and what you cannot. When your name was spoken, the sound carried weight. Not the weight of mere conversation, but the weight of spiritual authority. Some doors in the spiritual realm open only when heaven commands. Others, when darkness schemes. And then there are doors that open by alignment. Moments when actions in the natural release a chain reaction in the unseen. Beloved, this is one of those moments. The sound of your name was like the striking of a match. It lit a flame in the spirit. And now, forces both of light and darkness have taken notice. Do you feel it? The sudden restlessness in your spirit? The sense that something unseen is pressing close? That is because it is. Michael has drawn his sword. I see him standing before the open door. Not in panic, but in readiness. His eyes scan the horizon of the unseen. His wings are spread wide, casting a radiant shield between you and what approaches. But here is why the urgency cannot be ignored. The longer the door stays unguarded from your side, the more opportunity the enemy has to slip in whispers, doubts, distractions that can weaken your hold on the promise God placed over your life. Archangel Michael can defend. He can war. But he cannot make your choice for you. He cannot force your spirit to engage. You must rise. You must step to the threshold. And you must claim what heaven has prepared for you. Do you hear the stirring wind? It is not the wind of the earth. It is the wind of movement in the spirit. When angels shift their wings. When divine messengers are dispatched. The very atmosphere changes. Even now. Seals are breaking. Scrolls are rolling open. Ancient words, promises written over your destiny before you were born, are being read aloud before the throne of God. The moment is not distant. It is here. It is breathing down your neck like the first breeze before a storm breaks. It is vibrating in the air around you. The enemy would love nothing more than to convince you this is just another day. Just another word. Just another video. But heaven is saying, no. This is the hour. This is the summons. This is the moment when you either move toward your covering, or risk stepping outside of it. Do you think it's coincidence that you found this message? That of all the things you could be doing right now, you are here. With these words, piercing into your heart. No, beloved. Coincidence is the language of those who cannot see. But you are being given eyes to see, and ears to hear. The person who spoke your name last night may not even realize what they set in motion. They could have spoken it in love, or in longing, or in anger. But regardless of their intent, the sound became a key. And that key turned something in the heavens. Now, the door stands open. And what you do next will decide what passes through. Archangel Michael is not just a guardian in this moment. He is a herald. He is calling you to awaken, to shake off spiritual sleep, to take your stand as one who belongs to the kingdom. Because protection is not just a blanket God lays over you without your awareness. Protection is also an invitation, an active agreement between you and heaven, that you will walk in the light, stand in the truth, and refuse the enemy's lies. You have no idea how close your miracle may be, or how near the enemy's distraction is. But both are racing toward this open door. Beloved, the urgency is this. If you move now, you step into alignment. If you hesitate, you risk giving ground to the very forces that want to strip you of what's coming. That's why Michael's words are sharp, short, and full of weight. Open quickly, before protection is removed. Not because God's love fails, but because heaven honors timing. And timing is now, beloved. I know you have waited a long time. Longer than you thought your heart could endure. You have prayed in silence. You have cried where no one could see. You have felt the ache of unanswered questions, and the heaviness of nights that never seem to end. The delays have felt cruel. The losses have felt final. And in the quiet moments, you have wondered, has heaven forgotten me? But hear this. Heaven has never forgotten. Not for a single heartbeat. What felt like delay was actually divine preparation. What seemed like silence was actually the sound of God working behind the veil. Think of a seed, hidden in the soil. Buried. Silent. Invisible to every eye. And yet, life is forming in the dark. Roots are reaching deeper. Strength is building beneath the surface, until the appointed time comes to break forth into the light. That is what these past months, even years, have been for you. You have not been ignored. You have been prepared. The trials that tried to break you were the very fires that purified you. The doors that slammed shut in your face were the walls God used to redirect you. I know you have asked, why did it have to be this hard? Because, beloved, what you are about to carry could not rest in untested hands. Archangel Michael has been stationed near you for longer than you realize. Watching, guarding, intervening in ways you may never know until eternity reveals it. But this moment, this opening of the spiritual door, did not arrive before its time. If it had come earlier, you might have stepped through it carrying wounds that were still open. You might have walked in with trust that was still fragile. You might have carried bitterness where there needed to be forgiveness. God loves you too much to let you step into a destiny that would crush you. So He waited. And while He waited, He worked. Every disappointment, a chisel shaping your character. Every heartbreak, a pruning of what could not remain. Every delay, a positioning, moving you closer to where the blessing could find you. Beloved, preparation is not punishment. It is protection. And now, the preparation is complete enough for this next step. You are standing at the doorway of something that has been years in the making. You are stronger now than you know. You are wiser than the version of you who first prayed for this. And your faith, though tested, has not been destroyed. This is why heaven has moved today. This is why Archangel Michael is speaking now. Because the door that was opened last night is not just an entry into a moment. It is an entry into a season. A season that will require the very endurance you have built. A season that will require the discernment you have gained through pain. A season that will reveal that the waiting was never wasted. Beloved, I feel the Spirit of God whispering this into your soul. You are ready. You do not feel ready. But you are. Everything I have allowed was for this very hour. You may think your scars disqualify you. But in heaven's eyes, they are proof of survival. They are proof that you can withstand pressure. They are proof that you can be trusted with what comes next. Do not despise the waiting. Do not curse the preparation. Because the very strength that will keep you safe through this open door was formed there. Now, the season of holding back is ending. The time of hesitation is over. The moment of stepping forward has come. And Archangel Michael, who has watched over every hidden moment of your journey, is ready to walk with you through what lies ahead, beloved. Now that you understand the weight of your waiting, let us open the scroll that heaven has been holding over your life. This is not a vague promise. This is not an empty hope. It is a revelation. What is approaching you now is unlike anything you have seen before. It is wrapped in light so pure that shadows scatter at its arrival. It carries the fragrance of heaven, the scent of rain after drought, the sweetness of gardens blooming in desert places. I see it as a gift. But not just any gift. It is one that has been guarded, sealed, and hidden until the appointed time. It is a divine answer, but also a divine assignment. It is a blessing, but also a responsibility. Beloved, the reason the door opened when your name was spoken last night is because heaven's timetable for this blessing reached its hour. Like the striking of a clock in the heavenly courts. It was time. And so, The angels moved. Archangel Michael stepped forward. And a message was sent into the earth to find you. You have prayed for breakthrough. This is it. You have asked for confirmation. This is it. The blessing coming toward you is layered. It will touch multiple areas of your life at once. Where there has been lack, there will be abundance. Where there has been confusion, there will be clarity. Where there has been sorrow, there will be joy that cannot be stolen. Do not mistake this as just a good season. This is a turning point. The Spirit shows me doors you once thought were locked forever, swinging open before you. Opportunities that bypass normal routes, landing directly in your path. Conversations with people you never thought you'd meet, leading to favor you could never have orchestrated. But here is the hidden beauty. The blessing will not only be seen in the tangible, it will be felt in the spiritual. You will notice your discernment sharpening, your prayers becoming more precise, your awareness of God's voice becoming undeniable. The arrival of this blessing will carry signs, soft but undeniable, that heaven has touched your life. You may hear whispers in your spirit when you least expect them. You may sense an unexplainable peace in moments that used to bring you fear. You may even find tears on your face, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming weight of love you will feel from the Father. Beloved, this blessing is not random. It has your name written on it in heaven's own script. I see a scroll, sealed with the mark of the King. I see Michael's hand delivering it, his eyes watchful, his presence protective. The scroll is opened, and the words inside are radiant, as if light itself is speaking. It says, "This is for the one who has endured. This is for the one who has trusted through the fire. This is for the one who did not turn away." And that one is you. There will be those who cannot understand why the blessing is arriving now. They will think you were lucky. They will say you were in the right place at the right time. But you will know the truth. You were in the right season of obedience. You were in the right posture of surrender. And that is why the door in the spiritual realm opened for you. But, beloved, I must also tell you this. A blessing of this magnitude draws attention, both from light and from darkness. And that is why Michael stands ready, why you must walk with spiritual awareness in the days to come. This blessing will not slip away from you, unless you step away from it. So hold it close. Guard it. Value it as heaven values it. And remember, what is being given to you now is not just to make your life better. It is to position you to be a light for others. The Father gives to you, so that His glory can be seen through you. Michael guards you, so that the darkness cannot snuff out the light before it shines. Beloved, you are about to step into the manifestation of promises that have been decades in the making. When it arrives, do not hesitate. Do not second guess. Receive it with open hands and an open heart. Beloved, what heaven gives, heaven guards. But you must understand this. Every divine gift becomes a target. The moment this blessing moves into your life, it will not go unnoticed. The light it carries is visible in the spirit realm. Angels see it. Demons see it. And both will move in response. Archangel Michael's presence right now is not only ceremonial. It is tactical. He is positioned as a shield between you and every scheme, that would try to distort, delay, or destroy what is being placed in your hands. You may have already felt some of this. Strange distractions appearing out of nowhere. Old wounds being triggered. People from your past resurfacing with mixed intentions. Opportunities that look good, but feel wrong in your spirit. These are not coincidences. These are diversions. They are designed to pull your focus away from the gift and toward noise that weakens your awareness. Michael is not passive in the face of these threats. I see him, sword drawn, scanning the spiritual horizon. Every time a shadow approaches, he moves with precision, cutting off the enemy's reach before it can touch you. But there is something he cannot do for you. He cannot make you stay alert. That is your part. Your alertness is your agreement with heaven's protection. It is your way of standing in unity with the angelic covering over you. When you stay spiritually awake, you close the cracks the enemy might try to slip through. This means guarding your thoughts, not entertaining fear, refusing to dwell on lies that say you are unworthy, or that this blessing is too good to be true. Beloved, do not let doubt be the thief of what heaven has given. The enemy often works subtly after a breakthrough. He knows you expect a fight before the blessing arrives, but he hopes you'll relax once it's in your hands. That is when he strikes. That is why Michael's message carries urgency. The door is open, but you must protect what comes through it. Imagine a treasure chest being delivered to your home. Would you set it on the porch and walk away? Or would you bring it inside, lock the doors, and guard it until it was secure? This blessing is far greater than gold. It is a treasure heaven has chosen you to steward. And here is the truth. Your protection is not just about defending the gift. It's about defending your heart while carrying it. Because the enemy will not only try to steal the blessing, he will try to poison how you see it. He will try to turn gratitude into entitlement. He will try to twist joy into anxiety. He will try to make you doubt the very source of what you've been given. This is why Michael's shield is not only a defense against attack. It is also a cover of clarity. He fights so your spiritual sight stays clear. He fights so you can recognize lies before they root themselves in your mind. Beloved, do not isolate yourself in this season. Stay connected to voices that speak life. Stay rooted in the Word of God. Stay in prayer that keeps your spirit in alignment. Every time you pray, you reinforce the guard around your blessing. Every time you worship, you strengthen the walls of your protection. Every time you refuse to entertain negativity, you slam a door in the enemy's face. I hear the Spirit whisper, guard the gift, and the gift will guard you. This is not just a poetic phrase. It is a spiritual law. When you honor what God gives, you remain under the flow of His favor. And remember, Michael is not just guarding this blessing for today. He is guarding it for its future impact. What you carry now will ripple into years ahead. It will touch people you may never meet. It will open doors for others long after this moment has passed. That is why the protection is so intense. This is not just about you. It is about the kingdom's work in and through you. So stand firm. Stay awake. Move forward with gratitude and discernment. And know this: you are not walking through this open door alone. Michael walks with you. The armies of heaven stand with you. And the one who sent this gift will not let it be taken from your hands. Beloved soul, you have now reached the point where all the whispers, all the warnings, and all the visions converge. Archangel Michael stands before you, not as a distant guardian, but as a blazing presence, surrounded by the golden fire of heaven's authority. Every sign you have noticed in these recent days, every strange feeling in your heart, every sudden thought that felt like it wasn't your own, has been a part of this divine orchestration. There are no coincidences here. What you have felt was heaven preparing you for this exact moment. Michael's voice breaks through the silence of your spirit. It's not a loud shout. It's a deep, resonating truth that shakes the very foundation of your soul. He says, "You stand at the threshold of destiny. What you choose now will determine the flow of the blessings I am holding in my hands." Pause for a moment and feel that. Let the weight of those words settle in your heart. Because this is not just about hearing a message. This is about aligning yourself with the will of heaven before the window closes. The signs have been building. Maybe you've seen repeating numbers everywhere. Felt sudden waves of peace followed by urgency. Or dreamed of radiant light breaking through darkness. None of these were random. They were the final alerts before the convergence. Heaven has been aligning situations in the background. Moving people, shifting circumstances. Even delaying certain events. So that you would be right here, right now. Archangel Michael has been battling unseen forces to clear your path. There were moments you felt tired for no reason. As if something was pressing down on you. That wasn't weakness. It was the heaviness of a spiritual war you didn't even see. But Michael was right there, sword drawn, shielding you from the strike. And now, you are at a divine crossroad. One path leads to delay, to missed opportunities, to a slow drift away from the blessings that were ready for you. The other path is a leap into the miraculous. It's the choice to trust the whisper you've been hearing in your spirit, and to step boldly where fear wants you to freeze. Michael warns you. Hesitation is the enemy of destiny. Move when heaven says move. You may feel your hands shaking, your heart pounding. And that's okay. Because every great miracle comes wrapped in the unknown. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to step forward in spite of it. In this exact moment, the final convergence is happening in the spiritual realm. Angels are taking their positions. The enemy is making its last desperate push. And you, yes, you, are the deciding factor in what heaven can release into your life. You might think, how can my small decision affect something so great? But heaven measures differently. It's not the size of the action. It's the obedience in your heart. Even the smallest yes can unlock blessings that have been stored up for years. Michael shows you an image in your spirit. A door glowing with light. Behind it are treasures that have your name on them. Answers to prayers. Restoration of relationships. Financial breakthroughs. Healing that has felt impossible. And joy that overflows. But the door is not automatic. It opens only when you walk toward it. Standing still will make it fade away. Heaven is calling you to move now. The air feels charged. Almost electric. You might even sense your heart speeding up as you read this. That's because your spirit recognizes that these words are not empty. They are a living call from the courts of heaven. Archangel Michael says, "I will walk with you. I will shield you. I will go before you. But you must take the step. I cannot do it for you." The convergence of signs has been completed. The patterns, the dreams, the sudden divine interruptions. They have all led to this divine threshold. What you do now will echo into eternity. Pause again. Breathe. Let heaven's presence settle on you. Feel Michael's protection wrapping around you like a shield of fire. This is not the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter. One where miracles become the normal language of your life. But that chapter starts only when you move. It's time to step over the line. It's time to claim what heaven has already prepared. The threshold is open. But not for long. Archangel Michael is waiting. And so is your destiny. The air around you has been trembling with a strange stillness lately, a stillness that does not feel empty, but full. Full of whispers. Full of unseen movements. Full of the weight of something about to happen. This is not ordinary stillness. This is the pause before heaven shifts the gates. Archangel Michael stands at those gates right now. And with him are other celestial guardians, watching, waiting, ready to open a passage that has been locked to you for years. But here is the truth you must understand. Heaven does not keep the gates open forever. The opening is brief, deliberate, and only for those who are spiritually awake enough to see it. Michael's message to you is clear. If you delay, you will find the gates closed. Not because heaven does not love you, but because you did not move when the call came. Right now, the signs you have been noticing, the repeated numbers, the sudden thoughts that come out of nowhere, the way your heart feels pulled towards certain choices, these are not random. They are your summons. And when heaven calls, you must answer before the silence returns. I must tell you something important here. Many people believe they have endless time. They think they can answer God later, they can change their life later, they can heal their heart later. But heaven does not work according to human schedules. Opportunities in the spiritual realm are living things. They appear, they invite, and if ignored, they move on. Archangel Michael is showing me an image right now. A golden doorway suspended in the air. It glows so brightly that it almost blinds the eyes. But it is not stable, it wavers, as if it could vanish at any moment. You are standing a few steps away from this doorway. Between you and it, there is nothing but faith. And the decision to step forward. But I feel your hesitation. Perhaps you are afraid. Afraid that if you walk through, you will lose the life you know. Afraid that God might ask you to give up something comfortable. Michael's voice cuts through that fear like a sword. You will lose nothing of eternal value. Only the illusions will fall away. That is what this moment is about, the removal of illusion. The world has told you that you must be safe, careful, and logical. But heaven is telling you that you must be bold, trusting, and ready. And as these gates shift, the world around you will begin to reflect the change. People may leave your life suddenly. Unexpected opportunities may appear in strange disguises. And you may find yourself drawn to places, books, conversations, and experiences you would never have sought before. All of this is heaven's way of guiding your steps toward the gate. There is something urgent here. Michael shows me an hourglass. The sand is running low. Not gone yet. But close. And with each grain that falls, a choice is being made, by you, by those around you, by the unseen forces that influence your path. This is why you have been feeling more restless lately. Why your dreams have been vivid, your thoughts heavier, and your heart strangely expectant. It is because your soul already senses what your mind is just now beginning to understand. This is a once-in-a-lifetime spiritual alignment. But there is a warning. If you try to carry the weight of the past through these gates, you will not make it through. Michael says, release what cannot come with you. Some people, some habits, some ways of thinking. If you cling to them, you will be too heavy to move. This is not about punishing you. It is about freeing you. The gate is narrow not to keep people out, but to ensure that when you pass through, you are truly ready for the life that awaits. And I sense that you, yes, you listening right now, have been chosen for this crossing. Not because you are perfect. Not because you have done everything right. But because God sees in you the courage to step forward when others freeze in fear. Even now, Michael is placing a seal upon your spirit, a mark that heaven recognizes. It says, this soul belongs to the light. This soul is ready to move. But that seal is not a free pass. It is an invitation. An invitation that demands your yes in action, not just in words. So, here is your moment. Stand still. Close your eyes for a heartbeat. Feel the weight of the air around you. Feel the nearness of the gate. The wind you sense is not just wind, it is the breath of heaven moving past you. The tingling you feel in your hands, your neck, your back. That is the energy of the shift. And when you hear the inner voice, that quiet but firm whisper, say, go. You must move without looking back. Because once the gates swing shut, they will not open in the same way again. Your path will change. But you will have missed the passage prepared for you today. Michael's final words in this moment. I will walk with you. I will fight for you. But you must take the first step. So, step forward. Even if you don't see the full path. Even if you don't understand every detail. Because faith is not knowing the map, faith is trusting the guide. And your guide is waiting. Beloved soul. There comes a moment in heaven's plan for your life. When the scales tip forever in your favor. It is not a small nudge. It is not a gentle breeze of change. It is a tidal wave. And once it begins to move, there is no human force that can stop it. Archangel Michael wants you to know. You are standing at the threshold of this moment. The divine shift has already been set into motion. The prayers you whispered in tears. The cries you thought went unheard. The sacrifices you made in silence. All of them have been recorded in heaven's book of remembrance. And now, the season has arrived for those seeds to sprout. This shift will not be subtle. It will be undeniable. Doors that were rusted shut for years will burst open. People who ignored you will suddenly take notice. Opportunities that once slipped through your fingers will now land directly in your hands. And yet, Archangel Michael warns. You must be prepared. Because when God moves so powerfully, there is always resistance in the unseen realm. This is why the angelic armies are already surrounding you. They are holding back the storms meant to distract you. They are shielding your heart from the poison of doubt. They are silencing the voices that try to convince you. You are unworthy of this blessing. Michael says. You have already passed the test. The outcome is no longer in question. This shift is irreversible. But your focus will determine how much you receive. Pause now. And feel the reality of this truth. Imagine a great river. Blocked for years by a dam. Behind it, the waters have been building. Rising higher and higher. Pressing against the barrier. And then, with one divine command, the dam bursts. That is what is about to happen in your life. Everything held back. Every answer, every blessing, every opportunity is about to rush toward you at unstoppable speed. You might wonder, but what if I miss it? What if I am not ready? Michael says, you cannot miss what has already been written into your destiny. But you can multiply its impact by aligning your heart now. How? By remaining grateful even for the smallest signs. By trusting the timing when it feels slower than you expected. By stepping forward when the door swings open. Even if your legs are still shaking. The enemy will try to convince you that you need to prepare more, study more, be more perfect before you can receive. But the truth is, God has been preparing you all along. The sleepless nights, the closed doors, the silent seasons, the people who walked away. All of it was training you to stand strong when the flood of blessing arrives. Michael says, this shift is not just about you. It will touch your family. It will ripple through your community. It will awaken those who had lost hope. Because they will see what God has done for you. And realize it can happen for them too. This is why you must step boldly. This is why you must not shrink back. You are carrying more than just your own breakthrough. You are carrying a wave of hope for others. So, beloved soul, stand tall. Lift your eyes. Breathe deeply. The divine shift has begun. It cannot be reversed. It cannot be delayed. It cannot be stolen. What is coming is not random. It is the fulfillment of every whispered prayer and every hidden act of faith. Michael leaves you with this. Do not be afraid of the size of the blessing. You were created to hold it. And heaven will give you the strength to carry it well, beloved soul. There comes a moment in every divine season when the final warning is spoken, not out of anger, but out of the deepest love heaven can offer. Archangel Michael stands before you now, his armor glistening in the radiant light of God, his eyes fixed on yours with unwavering intensity. This is that moment. This is the time when you must listen, because the door that stands open in front of you will not remain so forever. Heaven is merciful, yes. But heaven is also orderly. God is patient, yes. But God's timing is perfect and cannot be manipulated. When the appointed time comes, the door will close, and not even the loudest cry will be able to open it again. Archangel Michael speaks now with the weight of eternity in his voice. Beloved, I have fought battles for you that you will never see. I have shielded you from darkness that was already reaching for your life. I have whispered to your heart when danger was near, but you did not always listen. Now, the last call is here. The last hour is moving like the shadow of sunset across the earth. You have felt it in your spirit lately, the unrest, the sense that something in the atmosphere is shifting, the sudden awareness of your spiritual state. That is not your imagination. That is the Spirit of God trying to awaken you before it is too late. Michael warns you of two things today. First, the door of opportunity is closing. Second, the door of protection is closing if you continue to hesitate. Right now, there is a supernatural covering over you. It has been placed there because of God's mercy, because of the prayers of loved ones, and because heaven knows your destiny. But if you continue to live as though the spiritual realm is a distant thought, that covering will not remain by default. The enemy is patient too, he waits for moments of delay. He waits for spiritual doors to remain half open. He waits for hesitation to give him access. Do not give him that moment. Michael says, the timing of God is not like the timing of man. When heaven says now, it means now. When heaven says move, it means move without looking back. For the one who delays will watch the miracle pass to another, and the one who ignores the call will find themselves outside when the door is shut. Perhaps you remember the parable of the 10 virgins. 5 were wise, and 5 were foolish. The wise kept their lamps filled with oil. They were ready when the bridegroom arrived. The foolish thought they had more time. They waited, they hesitated, and when the moment came, they were not prepared. By the time they returned, the door was locked. That is the picture heaven gives you now. You are being called to spiritual readiness. This means removing distractions that dull your spirit. It means spending time in the presence of God daily, even when you do not feel like it. It means saying no to things that pull you away from your divine path, even if they seem harmless. Archangel Michael's sword is drawn not for battle against you, but for battle on your behalf. Yet his protection works in harmony with your obedience. If you refuse to follow the warning, you step outside the shield. And outside the shield, the darkness moves quickly. This is not fear. This is truth. And truth, when delivered from heaven, is both urgent and merciful. Right now, take a moment to pause. Do not rush past these words. Ask yourself, if the door closed tonight, would you be inside? If the trumpet sounded now, would you be ready? If God asked you to account for your time, your decisions, your faith, would you be able to stand without regret? Michael says, there is still time to step through the door. There is still time to place yourself fully under the covering. But that time is measured in moments, not in years. Do not be the one who remembers my words too late. This is your final spiritual warning before the door closes. Heaven has given you clarity. Heaven has shown you signs. Heaven has spoken through dreams, through people, through scripture, and now, directly to your heart. Step in. Secure your place. And once you are inside, do not look back. Because once the door closes, it will never open for the same season again. The air grows still. The world outside your window seems quieter than usual. Not because nothing is happening, but because heaven is holding its breath, waiting for your response. Archangel Michael is standing near, his presence fierce yet filled with love. He is not here to comfort you into passivity, he is here to awaken you into action. There is a final hour of alignment unfolding right now. An invisible clock in the spiritual realm is ticking down. And every moment you delay makes the path ahead harder to reclaim. You may have felt it already. A deep pull in your spirit. A strange sense that certain decisions cannot be postponed anymore. This is not anxiety. It is not mere restlessness. It is the holy nudge from heaven telling you, if you move now, the way will be opened. If you wait, the doors will begin to close. Michael's voice is steady as he speaks in your spirit. Beloved soul, the time for hesitation is over. The battle has already shifted in your favor. But the victory will only be secured if you take the step now. Sometimes, people imagine that blessings come automatically. That they can simply appear without any movement from us. But heaven operates differently. Opportunities arrive like waves. If you stand frozen, the wave will pass. Right now, a divine wave is rising for you. One that carries healing, financial release, relational restoration, and answers to prayers you've whispered in the night. But Michael warns. This wave will not come again in the same way. Perhaps that's why everything in your life recently has felt intensified. The conversations that used to be casual are suddenly deeper. The emotions that used to be quiet are suddenly loud. The choices that used to feel optional are suddenly urgent. It is because the spiritual alignment window is narrowing. You are being positioned. Not by chance. Not by coincidence. But by divine orchestration. You have been walking a certain path for years. But in this hour, heaven is placing a new road directly before you. It will require courage. It will require faith. It will require releasing something you've been holding onto far too tightly. Michael's sword gleams in the unseen realm. Not as a weapon of destruction against you, but as a tool to sever what is keeping you bound. Do not look back, Michael says. The time to look back is over. You cannot step into your new season while your eyes are still on the old one. His words are sharp, but they carry deep love. He knows that hesitation in this moment could cost you years. In this final hour of alignment, expect certain things to feel like they are being stripped away. Not as punishment, but as protection. People may distance themselves. Opportunities may suddenly end. Doors you thought you wanted may shut in your face. This is not rejection, it is redirection. Michael is clearing your path, making sure no unnecessary weight slows you down in this divine acceleration. And here is the key. Heaven will not force you into alignment. You have to choose it. The angels will guide, but they will not drag. God will call, but He will not coerce. You are being offered something precious. The ability to stand exactly where heaven needs you. Exactly when heaven needs you there. Some of you are feeling this so strongly right now that your heart is racing. You know the decision you need to make. You know the step you've been avoiding. You know the conversation you've been putting off. Michael is saying, do it now. Not tomorrow. Now. This is the final hour before the shift becomes irreversible. If you align now, the miracle will meet you in motion. If you delay, the path will reroute, and it may take much longer to reach the same blessing. The choice is yours. But heaven is hoping you say yes. Because when you do, you will see the chains fall in ways you didn't think possible. You will watch provision appear in places you never searched. You will feel peace in decisions that once terrified you. And most of all, you will know that you moved in sync with heaven's heartbeat. Michael is here. Sword raised. Ready to cut away every obstacle. All that is left is your step forward, beloved soul. The day will come when the trumpet of heaven will echo across all creation. It will not be a sound that can be mistaken for thunder or the wind. It will pierce through every veil, shake every mountain, and still every wave upon the sea. Archangel Michael stands ready even now, his sword of light in one hand and the banner of God in the other. This trumpet is not merely a call, it is the announcement that all time has reached its fulfillment. Those who have walked in faith will feel an overwhelming peace rush through them. Their hearts will recognize the note instantly, for it is the same sound that their spirit has longed for in the quiet hours of prayer. But for those who ignored the signs, those who laughed at the warnings, those who chose the temporary glitter of the world over the eternal gold of heaven, this sound will strike terror into the very core of their being. In that moment, there will be no bargaining, no pleading for a little more time, no space to hide. Because the trumpet is not a warning. It is a declaration. It announces that the war is over, and the King has returned to claim what is his. You must understand, child of light. Heaven is patient, yes. Merciful, yes. Slow to anger, yes. But the patience of God is not infinite in the way humans think of infinity. There is a set hour, marked and sealed in the courts of heaven, when grace will no longer be offered, but justice will be executed. This is why Archangel Michael presses upon your heart today. Why you have been feeling that divine urgency, even when you couldn't explain it. Why small, ordinary events in your life have felt strangely significant, as though they were signs trying to get your attention. Picture this. The sky begins to shift. It's not a storm, though the clouds churn and roll as if stirred by an invisible hand. The colors change, not the soft pastels of a sunrise or the gold of sunset, but a fierce, living fire across the heavens. You can feel the vibration in the ground, in the air, even in your bones. And then it comes. That one, long, unbroken note, unlike any sound ever heard before on earth. It is not merely heard with the ears. It is felt in the soul. The righteous will rise with joy, their eyes fixed upward. The unrepentant will fall to the ground, not in worship, but in despair. This is why today matters. Because you are still in the before. Still in the time of mercy. Still able to choose your side before the trumpet sounds. Archangel Michael's words are not to frighten you, but to awaken you. He knows that distractions multiply in these days. That people fill their schedules with noise to avoid the silence where God's voice can be heard. That the enemy works tirelessly to keep you almost ready, but never fully surrendered. You cannot afford almost anymore. Not when the clock in heaven is ticking closer to that hour. Not when your soul's eternity hangs in the balance. And here is a truth you must hold close: the trumpet is not only a future event. It can sound for you at any moment. For when a soul's appointed time on earth ends, their personal trumpet has sounded. And the decision is sealed. Even now, Archangel Michael is calling your spirit to stand firm. To live in such a way that if the trumpet sounded in the next breath, you would rise without regret. To see every day as a gift, but also as a preparation. Because when the trumpet sounds, there will be no more later. Only now. And heaven wants you to be ready for that, now. Beloved soul. You stand at the edge of a divine current so strong. It will pull you into a higher reality if you simply allow yourself to be carried. Archangel Michael is here. His voice steady. His eyes burning with the light of eternity. He tells you. The time is not coming. The time is now. The heavens have opened their gates for the final wave of awakening. And you are called to ride it. This is not a gentle tide. This is a wave of truth that will wash away illusions, strip falsehoods from your path, and leave only the raw, pure essence of your soul standing before God. You may feel restless in these hours. You may sense that something is moving behind the veil. Something vast. Something irreversible. It is not your imagination. It is the Spirit calling you into position. Michael shows me a vision of golden waters rushing from the throne of God. They pour into the earth, flooding every shadow, every hidden place. No darkness can withstand this tide. Many will resist, holding tightly to what is crumbling in their hands. They will fear the letting go. But you, chosen soul, you are different. You were made for the deep surrender. In this wave, there will be revelations. Secrets you have long prayed about will be unveiled. People's true hearts will be revealed, both their loyalty and their betrayal. And though some truths may sting, they will set you free in a way nothing else can. Archangel Michael warns. Do not cling to the shoreline when the wave is sent to carry you into the open waters of your destiny. You have already felt it. This shift is not about small changes. It is about complete transformation, the kind that makes it impossible to return to who you were before. Michael's sword shines brighter now than I have ever seen it. It is lifted over your life. Not in judgment, but in protection. Every plan formed against you in secret, every snare laid at your feet, will be cut down in a single strike. But you must be ready. You must be listening. You must be willing to step forward when God says, move. The wave will not wait. It will come suddenly, without warning. And those who have prepared their hearts will rise effortlessly with it. I hear Michael say, anchor yourself not in the sands of the earth, but in the eternal rock of God's word. Then no storm, no wave, no shaking can pull you under. He shows me a vision of you, standing in the midst of waters that are rising all around. Yet your face is calm, your eyes fixed on the light ahead. Because you know, this is the fulfillment of the promise you've been carrying in your heart for years. There will be moments in this final awakening where time itself will feel strange, where days blur, and you sense the movement of heaven more than the ticking of clocks. Do not be alarmed. It is simply the alignment of the eternal with the temporal. The merging of heavens will with earth's timeline. Michael whispers, when you feel the wave, do not fear being swept away. You are not being lost. You are being carried home. And so, beloved soul, stand ready. Let your spirit be light, your hands open, your faith unshakable. Because this final wave will not only change your life, it will set the stage for every miracle you were born to see.